This base started as a cave. It was planned out with scaffolding. A skeleton structure formed. The first real room took shape. And today, it comes alive. Welcome back to the Alphacraft server. We've been building out this hub for my mega base, but this whole time I've been using a really awkward staircase to get up and down to the surface. And it was just a temporary one to service getting villagers down to the farm. So since we have this portal here in the center of our hub, I'm thinking water elevators either side of the portal taking us up to the surface. And it makes sense it would be here around the portal because that's our way in and out of the base. Yeah, I think that's going to work, having those two there. Trying to work out the right way to do this, whether to dig the hole first or then... let's build the towers up. So I've got this first one in, and I added a trim around it. I've got a bit of an idea, so I want to add one up there connecting onto the ceiling, so it's just not just a square box hitting the ceiling and that's it. I want to add some kind of trim around it, and then I want to do something a little nicer with this part. Yeah, I think I like that. I think that is the right amount of size that I want for these two water elevators to be either side of this portal. I really like the water around it as well, where we're using water there and we've got it in the floor. We're starting to incorporate it in places. So I like that. I'm going to replicate that right there. There we go. Those are looking great. I just now need to dig straight down to connect these up, and then I can flood them. So there's our down. And here's our up. So now this space is actually working. It's time to bring it to life. And I've got a brilliant idea for here. So by adding this top to this portal, I've kind of crowned this area, which then gives us a base for what I want to build, which is going to be a tree. So it's going to be quite a large tree, and I think that's what this area needs because it's quite a big space. I'm going to incorporate some lighting in this so it will light up the area a bit better as well. Here's an image of the tree that I'm kind of basing this on very loosely. I'm not going to be using obviously the supports. This is a very old tree from Japan. I think it's like over 1,000 years old. I just really liked the shape, and I think that's going to work really well in this area. So I've got the base in, I've got the trunks and whatnot in, branches and all of that. So I think I just need to get the leaves in. And I've experimented with using glass. So let me know. Let me know what you think. that definitely does the job of filling that space. It's exactly what I was thinking when I first started building this area, that there was going to be this grand tree in the middle of this space. I think it does the job of lighting up the space as well, because we were having a bit of trouble with it being quite dark up there. So by adding some of these frog lights into the tree, it lights up the tree and lights up the space as well. And I really like it. I think it does an incredible job in this space. So now that we have this tree in and this hub is starting to look alive, I want to get this floor finally dialed in so that we can ground this room. So I want to add something like this around the base of each column where we're using coarse dirt, and I think it kind of represents that the column is grounded in the base where we're growing up and then we're growing into the ceiling. I like the idea of the organics in this room, so I kind of want to keep using that idea. Underneath these grates, I've put copper bulbs as well, so that we can try and solve this lighting problem that we have down here and eventually get rid of all these torches. So I'll be using copper bulbs under any of these grate areas. I like it. I think it works underneath the water. Yeah. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to go replicate that around each one. So I have the 4 bases in around the columns now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add these stairs around here as well to sort of help with the framing, because I kind of do like this idea, and we should continue with it. All of this is coming along really nicely. The last big thing I need to do is this negative space area. I mean, I'm going to use the tiled deep slate. I'm going to keep in theme of that's our main like base building brick that's been used in this place. I'm going to use that on the floor. I also added the copper bulbs in, so there's no torches on the floor now. So we're lit up enough that nothing will spawn in here. But it is a little bit on the dark side, but I'm going to address that in a minute. But first, this negative space areas. Deep slate tiles are in. So what I want to add is a banding around the base of the wall. So I'm going to add a copper trim around the base. I'm going to see how that is. And if I like it, I might add it to the top there as well. So let me get that in. Yeah, I think that's a lot better with that banding around the base like that. So I'm going to put that up there, definitely. Oh, that's made a huge difference. It's so much brighter in here now. Yeah, that was a good call. And the final thing to tick off in this room to call it complete is the doorways leading into what will be the next areas. So I've got a design that I want to put around the doors, and then we can tick this room off as being complete. And I think these doorways are in keeping with the sort of same theme that we've been making with the columns and with the portal transportation structure. So I really like them, and I like how I've distinguished them with coloured, well, just coloured blocks, but they're ores. So emerald blocks being in the direction where we have our current farmers, so earning us emeralds. And I haven't really decided what the other directionals are, but there we have our cardinal direction doorways all leading to the portal room, to the main hub of this base. All that's left is to name this place. Welcome to the Ark.